Hey, up next on the MARR Rock Show, we have got Klaus, the vocalist from Swedish band Beseech, joining us. I'm thrilled to have him coming to us through Skype all the way from Sweden tonight. Klaus, welcome to the show. Hey, so the first thing I guess that I want to ask you about is it's been about 10 years, I think I saw, since your last live performance. So can you kind of catch people up a little bit on the reunion of the band?
And the reunion, the idea of the whole thing was something that me and Robert had for quite many years during the years when Beseech was put to rest. But these years we were not sure if we should reunite as Beseech or if it should be with any other kind of project. But somehow me and Robert, we have always been the main composers in the band, and we are also the creators of the Beseech sound. So, but then it took us a few years to finally do it, and then we met up in the summer of 2012 with 2 guitars and a couple of beers, and then we showed each other some riffs, and then we took it from there.
So it's just around the corner now. March 4th is going to be that big live performance timed out with the release of the album. So what's your thought? What's going through your mind as you get ready for that first big performance in a long time?
Well, of course, there has been a few years since me and Robert shared the stage together. But I'm really looking forward to it. And besides me and Robert, we also got Manne Engström, who also have been a member of Beseech. But then there are also 3 new members. So there will be like a mix between old Beseechers and 3 new.
So let's talk about the name of the album. Has kind of an unusual title in it, My Darkness and then a comma Darkness. Can you tell me a little bit about the meaning behind that title?
Well, the title My Darkness, Darkness, it kind of summarizes the main theme of the lyrics for this album. And this is also the first time which I've got the confidence from the others to write all the lyrics. And they are about these uncomfortable things that can occur to anyone in life, like diseases and tragedies, and that kind of lyrics comes with age, I think. When we started, we were just a bunch of teenagers, and our references at that time wasn't comparable to what I have been through in life today.
So, hey, there's a couple music videos out that I wanted to ask you about. So the video for The Shimmering just came out recently. Give us an idea of the story that we're seeing in that video.
It was directed the video was directed by Albin. The idea behind the video was something that the director Albin Glasell came up with. At first we gave him the lyric, of course, and also some background info about the lyric. And since The Shimmering is about your destiny goes wrong somehow, and it could happen to anyone. And in Albin's story, we can see a daughter who has lost his father.
So I was also watching the video for Highwayman. Now, is that Angelina from the band that kind of is the star in that video?
Yeah, it is Angelina.
And give us a glimpse into the story with that one.
Just like in the original version from Jimmy Webb, also we brought the idea of telling a story about incarnation. And as you can see in the beginning, Angelina is walking around the house, and then she sees some glimpses from inside of the house, and then she has to discover more further. And then when she enters the house, something happens to her while she's inside, so she transforms into something. And this is our she transformed into something, and this is how we tell our incarnation a being, sort of.
So I saw, looking after the big March 4th show, are you heading to China and Japan?
We are looking into that at the moment. Unfortunately, we had to cancel these shows.
So what was the original thought? Was China and Japan somewhere that you guys were very popular previously?
Yeah, we got an offer from a booking agent over there, and everything was just ready to go. And then on the other day, they gave us a message telling us that, sorry, we have to cancel all the shows in Asia.
So let's talk a little bit more about the new record. How will people find it to be similar and different from the other albums?
My Darkness is the first album from Beseech in 10 years. And for this album, we have went back to our roots with delivering the same old characteristic Beseech feeling, which can be heard on our early albums. If I would have to compare it with any of our early stuff, I think that our third album, Soul's Highway, is pretty close. But then there are also some elements from the first album and from the second one as well. And then we have, of course, added new members, and also they contribute to a different sound.
Talking about, you being over there in Sweden this time of year, here in the States, all music moves indoors. Are you looking forward to doing some outdoor summer shows this summer, possibly?
Yes, we are looking into that at the moment, and we soon have at least one show to confirm in Sweden. But, since the band has been gone for so many years, we need to make a great impact with this album to tell everyone that Beseech is back.
So, hey, I always like to learn a little bit from the Swedes. We have quite a few Swedes on the show here, and I always love talking to you guys. So, it's Super Bowl Sunday here in the U.S. Does anyone care about the Super Bowl in Sweden?
Not really. Our label manager told me that he wasn't sure about the interviews today because of Super Bowl. That's the only thing I've heard about it.
So what's the big the sporting event that everyone watches there? Is it ice hockey, or what is the big thing?
Sweden is good at ice hockey, but then I think soccer is the biggest thing here.
So do you, like over here in the States, a lot of bands will hook up with the sporting, teams to be like their theme music or things like that. Does that same thing occur over there? Do they adopt any rock bands as their theme music?
Not that I can think of. I'm not too interested in sports either.
So, hey, I'm just curious about the interest when you guys first formed, and I've been going back listening to a lot of your music. What was the inspiration for that sort of dark, gothic kind of music? Was it horror movies, or what got you into that kind of thing?
Do you mean from the beginning?
Yeah. What inspired you to go that direction?
I think that horror movies is of course a part of it. Our original drummer Morgan, he came up with the name after seeing a horror movie, and he said, "Oh, I heard something really cool last night in a movie. They say something, I beseech you. Can Beseech be a good name for the band?" Well, maybe, and now it is Beseech. But speaking of music that affected us in our early years, when we started, we wanted to play some kind of thrash or death metal, and we were listening a lot to Swedish bands like At the Gates and Dissection at that time, and also Morbid Angel and Candlemass. And of course, eventually, Paradise Lost second album, Gothic, made a strong impact on me back then. But back then, we were only like 16 years old and was much more easily affected by music from others.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the release of My Darkness, Darkness, and I wish you the best of luck on your show on March 4th, and it's been a real pleasure talking to you. Klaus from the band Beseech, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.